Leo's insights are presented to challenge, inform, and encourage you in your quest to break free from school-based approaches to education. Building upon a foundation of unschooling, we sincerely hope these insights help you to consider how education can be truly unlimited.
Have you ever been criticized or accused of being offensive? Shouldn't surprise you. I most certainly have, and more than once. Causing offense is rarely a desirable goal, although you will run into people who seem to delight in offending others, somehow getting a uniquely perverse thrill or some strange sense of superiority out of seeing people upset or angry. No doubt, life provides many opportunities for offense to occur, but is offense always the result of bad motives on the part of the offender? Well, of course not. There is a good reason we most often refer to offense as having been taken. This is because offense is usually appropriated by the offended rather than purposefully delivered by the offender. So it is the offended person that is usually the culprit, not the offender. How can you say that, you might ask? Without an offender, there can be no offense. Actually, it's not usually the offender who offends as much as the message the offender is delivering. But before we look into the question of offense, we need to describe the root cause of offense, which is one's perception of truth. Truth is a difficult term to define today. Perhaps it was always that way, but of late it is so embroiled in so many variations of different versions of so many beliefs founded on a plurality of opinions of things defined in multiple ways as to be without meaning at all. Huh? What was that? Are you confused? That was meant to be confusing, to demonstrate the oldest trick in the book, that of distorting the truth to get us from discovering it. The old adage, if you can't dazzle with brilliance, baffle with many meaningless words, comes to mind. Truth does not have multiple meanings and applications, as so often described. It is not a plural term. In fact, it doesn't even sound right when expressed as such. Yet the wisdom of this age insists there is a plurality of truths and that they are all true. Now, think about this for a moment. What if one person believes something to be wrong and another believes it to be right? They both have an opinion, but can both truths be true? Nope, impossible. Can both be untrue? Well, yes, of course. Actually, the best evidence for the singularity of truth is that the plurality of untruths is often used to distract and distance us from the truth. Truth is not invented by people or democratically determined for that matter, even if there exist differences of opinion. If everyone defined their own truth, could we ever come to consensus on anything? And if we did, would it in fact represent the truth? Truth just is. It has to be established by an objective something outside of our finite ability to create it. Our consensus on what it is should therefore not be based on what we invent, but on what we discover. My own life took on a completely new meaning and direction many years ago when at a young age I asked that eternal question, what is truth? I determined then and there to find out, and that quest continues to demand my greatest attention to this day. It led me to God, who then directed me to discover the way, the truth, and the subsequent life that I should live in accordance to that. It has also provided me with much grief as I watch truth being rejected. I cannot say that I have it all figured out, for that would most certainly not be the truth. But I do press on, desiring to know the truth rather than to seek to be right. Which leads us back to the original question of offense. Offense always involves truth, either by its presence or by its absence. In fact, Jesus declared that the message he conveyed would be found to be offensive, yet it represented, or more appropriately, was the truth. One only has to watch the daily news to see rather frequent occurrences of this nowadays. Seems like everyone is offended every day by everything. Well, actually, that cannot be the case, but it is safe to say that a lot of people seem to be offended at a lot of things that are, in fact, true. On the other hand, if someone makes an accusation against another person, the offense is likely due to the lack of evidence to support the claim. Or, if you will, the offense is taken because of the absence of substantive truth. The knowledge of truth seems to come with a desire to share the pearl, so to speak, with others. This is usually done sincerely, but not necessarily received with gratitude. Sharing with someone who is sincerely interested in knowing the truth usually results in pleasant, intelligent conversation. If unfortunate enough to be exposing the reality of a bad situation, like questioning the purpose behind actions or to warn others of impending dangers of misinformation and misdirection and misleadings and misrepresentations and misappropriation and other methods of manipulation to cause others to believe things that just ain't so, one can expect to find themselves misunderstood and or misjudged, often in an avalanche of criticism. I guess that is the price one must be prepared to pay for the privilege of telling the truth in a world that is just not interested in entertaining it. But the alternative is to tell lies. And I just don't want to do that.
We trust you were blessed by today's presentation. For more helpful information to guide you in your home education journey, please visit educationunlimited.ca and leogaumont.com. Be sure to like us and share us on Facebook.